Hey, it's Nathan here with an honest review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Herman Miller Aeron chair.
So taking a look at the Aeron chair in a bit more depth, now you can see why this has won so many awards for being just a really beautiful chair. I think it's even in a design museum somewhere in New York. Now when we look at the mesh, this is what Herman Miller called the 8Z pellicule mesh, which, as you can see, it's mesh. It's pretty soft to the touch, and the best way to explain it is like a really nice trampoline. Now, I haven't previously sat in mesh chairs before, but this is incredibly comfortable for a piece of mesh. One thing you'll probably notice from the video is this thing is a dust magnet. Now, I've got this from new, and what I noticed is that the dust coming off this was actually coming off the mesh system itself. Now that's probably a slight wearing in thing, but because this chair has so many little intricate parts, like underneath here for instance, the dust does get attracted to it, so you are going to need to keep this looking pretty clean if you want it to look like new. Looking at the back here now, this is the Posture Fit SL system, which has two different parts to it that presses on your back. You've got the lower back and the mid back. One thing that I wasn't able to find online that I found after buying the chair was what these pads are made of. Now, as you can see here, they are a pretty hard piece of foam, to be honest. It's just foam. But what you can do, either side, is adjust the tension. So as you move it forwards, it decreases the tension. As you move it backwards, it increases the tension as well. We've got here the mechanism for adjusting the height of the chair. Now this operates on a rail-like system, but when you undo this, it does not move. It will stay free flow and will allow you to move the arm up and down. We've also got the height adjustable system here, which is really awesome. It will make the chair move up and down at a great pace. But what I did find is that accidentally I would press this when I was actually trying to adjust the arm. And you've got down here the back tension handle. Now this will adjust the tension that the back has when you push against it, and again, this is personal preference. On the left hand side we have two independent dials. The first one here is for adjusting the forward tilt option. For this you need to engage the back first and then move it forwards to engage the forward tilt function. The next one here that's closer to the base is the back locking system. So with this you can adjust how far back you wish the chair to go, and you can set a limit. So if you don't want to do a full recline, you can do this. If you'd rather set it a partial recline, you can set that there. Now, these are the plastic edges around the edge of the seat that some people have issues with. Now, as with everything on this chair, really high quality plastic. It is slightly firm, but this has not been a problem for my legs. I didn't ever find that my legs were touching it. This does span all around the chair, so you'll notice here at the back. Now, interestingly, one of the key features about the Aeron Remastered compared to the more traditional Aeron is that the front here no longer has a piece of foam, which I understand that Herman Miller decided to remove because of durability issues. So instead here, you've got that full 8Z Pelican mesh and a plastic front.
Let's talk a little bit about the customization of this chair. Herman Miller are known for their fantastic ability to customize their chairs, and the Aeron's no exception. The amount that I've honestly found that I can customize this chair is beyond anything I can imagine. I think I read somewhere that there's about 12 different mechanisms on the chair alone that you can customize. I'm going to show you some on my chair here. I'm not going to change everything because I've spent many hours researching and looking into how to customize it for me, and I'll talk a little bit later on why that's going to be important for you. So some of the controls that you can customize, let me talk you through them. First of all, on the side here, you can easily adjust the height of the chair. Now, as I'll explain later, really important to make sure that you are keeping your body in an L shape with feet flat on the floor. The Miller chair, the Herman Miller Aeron chair, is not a chair for slouching, sitting cross-legged in. It will punish you if you do so. The other one that I think is a really cool feature is the forward tilt limiter. Now, on a standard Aeron chair that you would buy directly from Herman Miller, this is included as default, but with some other retailers you have to pay extra and select it. I would highly recommend you do so. So this one's an easy one to show you because this isn't going to affect my setup. So what you do is you lean back a little bit, you move this lever down here forwards, slight crunch. And what this means is that you can lean forwards a bit, so you get this almost rocking-like motion. Now what this means for when you're working, and this is a really interesting feature, for those of us that like to sit a bit closer to the edge of the seat, this enables your posture to remain constant whilst leaning forwards. So really great if you're one of these people that like to sit on the edge of the seat reading a document or something. Also really good if you're one of these people that like to sit with a laptop on their lap and do work that way. Let's talk about the arms on the Aeron chair. This is a big feature that many people like myself look into when buying such a high quality chair. The Aeron chair comes in two different arm specifications, the standard arms and the leather arms. I went with the standard arms. I read online a lot around the leather arms just simply not being worth the extra money. Apparently they wear over time, and that's not what I want from a chair of this price and this quality. Looking at these arms now, what I would say is they're soft. They're really soft, to be honest. Now, I previously had tried the Mirror 2 chair and that had a lot harder arms, a lot firm, but these are still soft. Really nice to sit in when you're working at the desk. I wouldn't say they're too soft. My arms certainly don't sink into them, but as you can maybe see in the video, they are soft to the touch and have a nice gloss feel to them. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with the way they feel and look. Now looking at the customization of the arms now, this is what they call a 4D moving system. So what this means is that each arm can go backwards, forwards, up and down. Again, I'm not going to move this because of my setup live organized, but this is on a system here where the arms slide up and down. I would say it is a little bit fiddly because each arm operates independently, so there is a slight trying to get them to balance up. But what I actually found is that at the desk, at times when I was more intensely using the mouse, I would raise my right hand armrest up so I could use the mouse in a bit more motion than my left arm that was perhaps just resting on the side. The other part to these arms as well is the ability to move them out and in. Now, when I move them in, these tend to be when I'm sitting closest to my desk and keeping again that nice L shape at the arms, L shape at the legs. The next part I'm going to introduce is the Posture Fit SL, which is fitted as standard on the Aeron chair I've purchased from Herman Miller, but can be an extra when you purchase from external retailers. Simply put, the Posture Fit SL is designed to improve your posture. Now, this is the Aeron 2020 Remastered Edition, and one of the things that you will notice from a lot of chairs in the aftermarket marketplace is that the traditional Aeron had a single padded lumbar support. All that was able to do was move up and down. There was no ability to really improve the tension of this. It was a piece of plastic at the back of the chair. Opinions are very divisive on this online. Some people love it, some people hate it. I can't say I've had any experience with it. So my first experience is really with this Posture Fit SL. So the Posture Fit SL, it is two pads that help support your lower back and what I would describe as your mid back. Now, it does not move up and down, but Herman Miller say that this is all about improving posture and that there is no need for this to move up and down. On the side here, you have a dial to increase the tension of the posture fit. Now, this is one of the biggest issues that I found with the chair at the start, which was finding the right pressure for me when sitting in the chair. Now, it took me a long time. I spent many time putting it to maximum, setting it to minimum, and I always felt that there was something there. And this took me a few days, I think up to a week, to really get used to it. And part of my problem was I wasn't sitting in the chair correctly. Now, Herman Miller advised that you sit in an Aeron chair with your back fully engaged with the back of the chair. So again, no slouching. And the Posture Fit SL really helped me with this, actually. I found that I wasn't slipping forward in the chair that I was in my previous IKEA chair, for instance. So whilst I do still feel that I can feel this posture fit against my spine, it's comfortable enough, I have to say. I do feel like something's there, and I will occasionally have to tweak the dials. It seems to be depending on the day, I'll feel it more and some days less, but it's an important feature to have. The other thing to mention with the Aeron chair is that it actually comes in 3 different sizes. A, which is for more the petite person, very small, lightweight. B, which Herman Miller states is designed for 95% of the population, which is what this chair is. And C, which is the largest, which is meant for larger individuals, whether taller or just slightly heavier. So a few other bits that I didn't perhaps mention earlier in the video, and these are just very random observations that you may or may not find useful. The first one is being able to identify what type of Aeron chair you're buying. Now, at the very back, just behind me, underneath the Herman Miller logo, you will find that there are dots that you can feel with your finger. Now, these indicate the size of the chair that you are buying. I've got 2 dots on mine, which means it's a B. 1 dot for A, 3 dots for C. Really useful feature if you're ever out there buying perhaps a second-hand Aeron chair and you want to know what size it is. So, should you buy one of these chairs? In the UK, this is a £1,000 chair, which is a huge investment for anyone to consider. We're all working from home a lot these days, and having a really great quality chair is important for your own health and your own well-being when working from home. So what I would say about these chairs is the experience is personal to you. I spent a lot of time researching out there, and the chairs people are recommending just didn't work for me. It's pointless reading that somebody else finds a chair comfortable. It is down to how you feel. So the first thing I would say is, if you can, make your way to somewhere that sells these chairs. For me, I went to the Herman Miller showroom in London, and that was a great insight. I sat on every office chair that Herman Miller offered and found the one that works best for me. The second one is find a reputable dealer that will allow a returns policy. Now, I was able to previously purchase a mirror chair, which I thought was right for me. I sat in this one in the showroom for about 15 minutes and thought, hey, this works good for me. I got the chair home and I spent a good few hours, over a week with it every day, and I found that the chair, the initial impression I had, didn't work over the whole week. I began to become more uncomfortable with the chair and it just wasn't working for me. The other thing with these chairs is there's an adjustment period. This took me 2 weeks of pain, if I'm honest, to get used to it. And this was caused by, apparently, my previously bad posture. What I struggled with a lot at the start was my lower back hurting. It felt like I've been sitting on a bench or a very hard wooden chair for a long time at the start. So I'd find that throughout the day, my hips would hurt, my shoulders would hurt. I'd feel a bit beaten and bruised. Now, there is a wearing in period, and that sounds really weird. When you spend £1,000 on a chair, you expect to be sitting on a fluffy cloud, instant comfort, like you're just getting a massage whilst you're working, which we'd all love. But sadly, that's just not the case with these chairs. If you're coming from a non-ergonomic chair, there is a wearing in period, and problems vary in different people. I've heard of people complaining of pain in their hips, the back, the hamstrings. But the key thing is, give it a week or two, and that's really important, to just bear with it each day. Take those regular breaks, allow your body to get used to the chair, and then you'll know if it's right for you. So thanks for watching. I really hope that you found this video useful and will help your decision if you are, like me, somebody that was out there considering a Herman Miller Aeron chair. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see some more videos from me, hit the subscribe button. Thanks and see you later.